Hello YouTube, it's Nite, and today I've got a game for you between two amazing players. This is not a league game, but an MMR game, however. Before I talk about that a little bit more, let's go ahead and introduce our players really quickly. On the top, we got our blue Iron Commander. I know, surprise, surprise, it is Iron Commander. Who knew that he plays anything other than Cybran? And his opponent on the bottom is none other than our orange UEF commander. He's been playing UEF quite a bit. We've got Polarbearz starting off with 2 air factories, and I believe, I didn't say it, but I believe his opponent, nope, 1 research and 1 air. So normally I would not do an MMR match, but this week hasn't had a whole lot of replays submitted for the leagues. So I just wanted to fill in a day and cast something, I guess. And so I hit up my man Iron Commander. He's recommended this replay for me, so hopefully this is a good one. But I have no doubts of Iron's and Polarbearz's skill, so this should be a very interesting. So far, the players are obviously setting up their air positions. Looks like Polarbearz is going to try and go and take out Iron's air forces here. Let's go ahead and see how that plays out. Of course, Iron gets baited, but even without that, I expected him to lose all his air anyway. So quite a bit of a slow start for our Aeon player here, but he does have that 1 research station, so he has some options on how to progress. So if you don't know what MMR is, go ahead and check out the OSS Discord. We have a lot of stuff going on, as you guys probably know. We have tournaments, leagues, you know, and the MMR system, which is open to all players, but it's used also in tournaments for placement and matchups. So for example, the Serpent's Open events that are monthly now, the next one is going to be mid-February. So for those, we use the MMR to rank players together based on their skill. So they're even matchups. I know a lot of you have been kind of upset about that, so now there's no excuse for y'all to play, right? Everybody's guaranteed the same amount of matches. The first round is balanced. So we already had 1 great tournament last weekend, which is why actually we didn't have many replays submitted. Because of that tournament, players just didn't play. I mean, it's to be expected. As Iron's air gets massacred once again, there's an anti-air turret here. So Polar might actually end up losing. No, I don't think he loses a plane here. Maybe a Wasp. But still, Iron loses a lot. So yeah, no excuse for y'all to not sign up. We just had 1 last week, as I said. Sometimes I say stuff and then I start talking about something else and then I forget what I said. So I start repeating myself. I'm sure you guys have noticed that before. But that's a byproduct. Look how high those airplanes are going. And they must be smoking something real good. Iron doesn't give 2 shits though about these wasps though. He's gonna go triple air factory transition, and he's gonna start making air in big quantities as Polarbearz has grabbed 2 research generators. Both players are expanding, but as always, Iron is the expansion king. I believe he is up on expansion up until now. I think Polarbearz is gonna be up 1. Nope, they're pretty much tied now. And Polarbearz does eventually go into that 3rd air factory as well. Iron is going to be grabbing his 5th. Looks like he had 1 queued up there. But nevertheless, there is an air engagement again. Iron is going to lose his air here, unfortunately. There's just not enough air to contest this UEF Wasps, even with that anti-air here. Although, nice bait by Iron actually gets Polar to fly over the AA a little bit too long. And actually, this is equated quite a bit. And you know, if it wasn't for those 2 research stations that Polar has placed, this would be a pretty even game at this point. But of course, there's also all that yummy mass for Iron to reclaim, which he hasn't done. And I'm sure Mr. Steal Your Girl would really hate this right now. And there's engineers available, I think. Oh, looks like he's doing it now. There you go. Reclaiming stuff off the wall there. More scouts coming in for Iron Commander. And it looks like it is going to be a little bit more stalemate here. As actually, no, Iron Commander is going to place down a line of land factories there. And I think it is going to just be a little bit of downtime here as both these players are kind of transitioning into late game at this point. There isn't really a mid game on a map like this. There's only early, and then unless the players are both like really on top of their game and trading evenly, then there isn't really a mid game, especially on a map like this. So yeah, guys, thanks. I guess I want to say thank you for watching. I know a lot of you have been watching a lot of my videos recently, and I hope you're enjoying the new format over those videos. And if you haven't noticed, I'm trying to cut down on their time that they last, and you know, get the important bits to you, and kind of try to work around, you know, like you've seen in the 2v2 video, try some new angles and things like that. So hopefully you're enjoying it. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, as always, place them down in description below, and or send me a message. Send me a message on Discord. And you know, if you have a replay that you want me to cast or consider, I'm going to be trying to do 4 replays a week, so I'm not always going to have one replay from each league to cast. So if you've got some stuff, forward them to me. We do see AC1K air gantry coming out, most likely going to be an AC1K, although at this point it might be actually a terror, or not a terror. That's what AC1Ks are. Jesus, Nite. This might be a fortress actually by this point, so not really too surprising. I'm surprised that there hasn't been enough land to push across this lake yet. A lake, it's more of an ocean. You know, the interesting thing to me has always been how Supreme Commander 2 was supposed to be this like grandiose, way more epic game than Subcom 1, and then GPG apparently ran out of money, or something happened as there's another air engagement. I don't know why in God's iron engaged over here. There's just too much air here. But yeah, and then GPG ran out of money, or Square Enix ran out of money, and they had all these large maps prepared. So that island over there on the left is probably an extension of the map. It's not just some random thing they placed there. But since they had to cut down, they kind of stopped their development of all the maps. And they had to, you know, significantly constrain the size of each of these maps, which is unfortunate. One can only wonder how much more epic these games would be. Although 1v1s would probably stay the same, to be completely honest, unless there's just a more wide of a selection of maps. So that's just my little bit of a rant, as these players are still kind of playing cautiously. And it is going to be an air gantry here with, or sorry, an air gantry. Obviously it's an air gantry, you guys can see that, and you guys can also see the fortress bacon in there, almost done. All right, so what is Iron going to be doing? Oh, ha ha ha. I don't think we've seen this in a 1v1 replay that I've ever done. I don't think I've ever seen in a 1v1 in a temple. Just straight up in a 1v1. I don't know if I've seen one. An Aeon teleportation temple. What is it actually called? That's how much. Space temple, that's what it's called. And Polar hasn't seen this yet. If he's seen this, he would have been bombing it right now. Fortunately, there's just way too much air. Let's see where this space temple is going to go. And I imagine it's going to be right in the middle of the base somewhere. There it is. Oh no, right underneath the fortress. Wow, that is awesome. Alright, so he's going to get some damage, quite a bit of damage here, but the response from... Okay, so Polarbear completely overreacts, in my opinion, and brings his whole freaking Air Force back here. I think that's a little bit unwarranted, and Iron is doing a nice job splitting here, and Polarbear is not doing a nice job splitting fire. But, you know, I think Polar could have sniped, maybe? I don't know if he had enough bombers, that's the one thing. But the Air Fortress also contributes quite a bit of fire to the ACU. Alright, so yeah, he loses a bunch of his production here. He loses most of his air factories, if not all, actually all of them. No, there's one right here. And then 2 air gantries that are still building. Iron does a really nice job here focusing fire engineers and things that can rebuild And also, he actually manages to get the rest of these mass extractors too. Wonderful splitting from Iron. Of course, it could be a little better, but come on, guys. I mean, have you actually ever tried to split this many land units? And there's still teleports coming in. Space Temple is still doing work. And Iron has bought himself quite a bit of time. Unfortunately, I don't see him utilizing too much of it. Still not really producing anything against the air problem that he's facing. Nevertheless, there's gunships coming out now. There's shields on Polar's air as well. Iron is going to manage to take out pretty much every... Yeah, actually, yeah, there's only 2 mass-producing structures over here, but he's going to manage to take out everything here. Goodness gracious, that is amazing. Very nicely done by Iron Commander. Looks like Polar is scouting for that ACU. That's not gonna come. Or he's not gonna find it, rather. There's another teleport going across the map. As he has officially finishing up destroying every single resource producing structure on the map from his opponent. And is Iron gonna win this? Well, if his ACU continues to be doing... Yeah, that's not a smart idea there, Iron. Definitely need to split those. Otherwise, the anti-air towers will just die. Looks like Polar does not see where this commander is. He's going to try and take out as much as he can here. A lot of anti-air here. Kragdow's teleporting in to support this. Space Temple gets taken out. The Air Fortress gets taken out. Iron is honkered in the middle of the lake, and there is not enough damage here. I don't believe a single mass extractor has fallen here. And Polar Bear controls K's on the other side of the map. I don't even see where he was. I guess he flew out. It's a very interesting thing, but holy moly, a very interesting selection of strategy by Iron Commander. And something that we don't see very often, so I don't think we're going to see this in a high level match. Of course, this is still MMR, but I think these players are still throwing around some wonky strategies to each other. Once I see a Space Temple in an actual tournament game, then I'll be super impressed. But nevertheless, I think this was a treat. I hope you guys agree with me. And there isn't obviously a second game because it's just an MMR match. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you're still watching, give a thumbs up to this video. If you liked the video, leave a comment. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you are blown away by it, check out my Patreon page. This has been Nite. Take care and peace out.